Now we're going to talk about what I would consider to be the last step towards overcoming social anxiety. This I would call facing your fears. After you've gotten at least a decent place emotionally from using the different methods that I mentioned before, you want to make sure you go through these steps so you could get to this step, because this is the hardest part. Some people would encourage people to just face your fear like that, but that's not healthy. That could cause you to become even worse and even more have a stronger social phobia. So you want to make sure you go through those different steps, the different catharsis methods, and the inner child work and the finding approval as much as possible. Now, when you start to feel lighter because of it, you'll still have some level of social anxiety. But you'll feel lighter and you'll feel some level of healing. When you start to feel this way, you could now start to introduce, to become more aggressive about it and start to face your fear gradually. So you still feel some level of discomfort, but you'll be in a better place. Now, what I'll suggest you do is then, take small, gradual steps and actions towards dealing with facing your fears. So what you could do is, you could take a walk one early morning to the park or somewhere where there's not a lot of people. This would vary with different individuals and your social anxiety level, because some people, being around one person is too much. So you want to, if you're that person, you want to go towards one or two or three people, depending on your comfort level. Sit at a certain distance from them. Sit at a certain distance and allow those anxiety feelings to come up. Don't put yourself into a place where you're too anxious. Just make sure you could feel those anxious feelings, but still feel some level of comfort. Then what you're going to do is, you're going to allow those feelings to come up as much as possible. Then you could write then and there, or wait till you get home, write all about the feeling and the experience. I'm going to go into what exactly you're going to write down a little bit from now, but I just want to explain the process first. Then what you're going to do the second day or a second time. But don't wait too long in between doing these things. Face your fears today, but don't wait too long until you start getting anxious, too anxious again. To do it as soon as possible. Do the second step as soon as possible. The second step is the second day or the next time you go back to the park or to another social situation where there is a little bit more people. So if you did 3 people before, do 5 people, or however more you're comfortable with. And sit at a distance, or sit even closer, go even closer to them, or wherever you want to go. That will bring up enough feeling towards that situation. Pay attention to your feeling again like you did the first time. Do the same process as before. Then you're going to do this a third time. The third day or the third time. You could do them in consecutive days or as soon as possible that you get to it. Go around even more people as comfortable and as possible. Then gradually continue this process, increasing the amount of people each time until pretty soon you can be around as many people as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to create these, put yourself in these situations gradually each time increasing the amount of people and the amount of anxiety, or as close proximity to the people as possible, to bring up that certain amount of anxiety so you could work with it. After each day and after each scenario, what you're going to do is you're going to apply one of the techniques that I mentioned earlier. Technique 1, Technique 2, Technique 3. That would be the aggressive catharsis, which is releasing. You're going to do that and or inner child work and or finding approval. But if you can't do these, you can't do the releasing and the inner child work, I suggest you at least do finding approval. Each time you do this, write about the scenario. Write down anything positive that the scenario that happened with the scenario, and write about your feelings. Make sure you write down anything you notice regarding your improvement. Example, if you realize that you've made progress on the second or the third or the fourth day or the fourth time you do this, whatever time you do this, be sure to write this down as an affirmation, and do this each time you notice progress. So what I just suggest to you is that you put yourself in these situations, then go home and do the necessary techniques that you feel will work for you, or the technique that works best for you regarding each scenario that you put yourself in. So each day you go to the park or go to the social situation, you go there, bring up the feelings, then write about it. Then find approval for it. This will help you to release even more and more. And then pretty soon you could notice that you could be around more and more people. So go try these things regarding social anxiety, and it should really work for you. It worked for me. I'm not in the best place now, but I'm in a way better place than I used to be. Way. Because I've done these things and they work for me.